Tired of living for others and forgetting about yourself? The sensation of always being in debt, trapped in obligations that don't always make sense, is like an invisible web, dense and sticky, that traps us and distances us from what really matters, ourselves. It's like carrying an invisible weight, a backpack full of other people's expectations that bend us over and prevent us from walking freely towards our own light. You know that voice inside, subtle as a whisper, but persistent as the dripping of a faucet that calls you to something more, to a more authentic life? Carl Jung, one of the great pillars of analytical psychology, a profound explorer of the human soul, already said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." A short phrase, but loaded with a profound meaning, an invitation to introspection and self-discovery. But what did Jung, with his vast wisdom, mean by this awakening? It's about stopping dreaming the dream of others, living a life that is not yours, and starting to live your own dream, to build your own journey. It's about ceasing to be a mere supporting actor in the life story of other people and becoming the protagonist of your own narrative. Society, since we are born, bombards us with a whirlwind of unwritten rules, implicit expectations, and prefabricated molds. Be nice, do what is expected of you, don't disappoint anyone, follow the script, don't step out of line. We grow up immersed in this culture of approval, in this almost desperate desire to please, to fit into patterns that many times are like tight shoes or clothes that are too big, that don't match anything with our essence, with what pulsates within us. And in this incessant search for external approval, for validation from others, we end up getting lost in the labyrinth of other people's expectations. We try with all our strength to be everything to everyone, to please Greeks and Trojans, and in the end, ironically, we are nothing to ourselves. We empty ourselves of ourselves to fill the world with characters we create to meet external demands. It's a vicious cycle, a Ferris wheel that spins non-stop. The more we sacrifice ourselves for others, the less we recognize ourselves, the further we get from our true identity. Jung called this process of searching for our essence individuation. Individuation is like an epic journey, an adventure towards our deepest self, a path to becoming who you really are, with all your nuances, with all your parts, including those that society, with its accusing fingers, says we have to hide, that we have to repress. The fear of being rejected, the corrosive guilt of saying no, the anguishing tightness in the chest when we think about displeasing. These feelings, so painful and familiar, are like guardians that appear when we dare to think about breaking. The invisible rules that were imposed on us, but is the prison, this feeling of suffocation, richly in what others will think? Or is it that we ourselves imprison ourselves day after day, afraid of being who we really are, afraid of showing our light and our shadow? Jung, in his profound understanding of the human psyche, spoke of the shadow, that part of us that we hide under lock and key, that we relegate to the basement of our consciousness, where we keep our fears, our repressed desires, those characteristics that we consider ugly or unacceptable. But he, with his revolutionary vision, said that this shadow, apparently frightening, has a very strong energy, a vital energy, an incredible potential for transformation. When we ignore what we really want, when we repress our deepest desires, our most authentic wills, we are suffocating an important part of ourselves. We are pruning our own growth. We are literally throwing away a precious treasure. The change, the true transformation, begins when we understand once and for all that the biggest debt we have is with ourselves, with our own soul, with our purpose in life, as Jung said. And pay attention, internalize this truth. You owe nothing to anyone. This phrase at first glance may seem selfish, an act of causeless rebellion, but it is not. It's about responsibility, about taking the reins of your own life. When you free yourself from these imaginary chains, from these expectations that are not yours, that were placed on your shoulders without your consent, you open space, a vast and luminous space, to live according to what really matters to you, with your values, with your dreams, with your truth. It doesn't mean in any way that you are going to turn your back on the world, that you are going to ignore the people you love, that you are going to become an insensitive and selfish being. On the contrary, it means that you are going to build true, authentic relationships based on genuine exchange, on mutual respect, and not on obligation, on debt, on guilt. You know what happens when we start to live this truth? When we allow ourselves to be who we really are, magic happens, life transforms. When we put ourselves first, when we value ourselves, when we truly love ourselves, we attract, like a powerful magnet, people who also value us, people who resonate with our essence, who vibrate on the same frequency. Friendships become truer, more solid, relationships deeper, more meaningful, everything gains more color, more flavor, more meaning. That energy that we spent exhaustively trying to please everyone, trying to fit into molds that do not serve, as now we use to build the life we have always wanted, a life with purpose, with meaning, where our inner voice, the one that whispered deep down, is the one who guides the way, is the one who dictates the rules. So stop for a moment, take a deep breath and think, what are you going to choose to do today, at this very moment, to get rid of these debts that only exist in your head, of these invisible shackles that hold you back, and get closer to your truth, to your essence, to your light? Remember Jung's wise and inspiring words, awakening is inside you, not outside. Look inside. With courage and honesty, listen to your heart, your intuition, and discover the indescribable freedom of being who you really are. Let go of the paralyzing guilt, the fear of judgment from others, and embrace your authenticity with all your imperfections and beauties. The life you have always dreamed of, that full and meaningful life, awaits you on the inside. You just have to allow yourself to awaken, allow yourself to blossom. Don't wait any longer. Don't postpone your happiness. Start right now to build the life you deserve, a life free of shackles, a life that is truly yours, a life that pulsates with your essence. Did you enjoy this deep dive into yourself? So don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel for more transformative content, and share this text with whoever you think needs this awakening. And of course, leave your comment. I really want to know what you thought and how this message resonated with you. Your participation is very important.